When it comes to food at Disney World, Disney Springs is the place to be. There is truly something for everyone here. And today we are uncovering some hidden foods, trying some new foods, and so much more. Hello from Disney Springs. I am very excited for today because Disney Springs is one of my favorite places to get my grub on. And for as many times as I have been to Disney Springs, there is still so much food I've never tried and so many restaurants I've never been to. And today we're gonna get to it all, starting with Chicken Guy. Chicken Guy is a restaurant that I frequent pretty often, and not just because I love Guy Fieri. I think their chicken tenders are some of the best in the game. Recently, I was looking over the menu here at Chicken Guy and I noticed a little change up, a little something new on the menu. They actually now have spicy chicken tenders. The chicken tenders here from Chicken Guy are already fantastic, but add a little spice on there and I have a feeling they're gonna be even better. Chicken Guy is catching a lot of slack recently because they were once known for having so many different sauces. It was like their thing. They were the boss of sauce. They were supposed to have all these different sauces to dip your chicken tenders into, and recently they cut down on that list quite significantly. Now this is definitely a change that I am pretty upset about, as my favorite flavor of sauce is no longer listed on this menu. Cumin Lime Mojo, the sauce was so fantastic I could literally drink it, but it's not there anymore, so I'm gonna have to find a new sauce to dip my hot chicken tendies in. All right, we have got our hot tenders. I got 3 of them and they cost $7.49. And despite them getting rid of my all-time favorite sauce, Cumin Lime Mojo, I was able to find 2 sauces to dip my tendies in. I got the buffalo, which I've had before and I love. I think their buffalo is honestly some of the best buffalo sauce ever. And I also got the Nashville hot honey here. I've been like on a hot honey kick, so anything with hot honey I love. So I'm excited to dip my little hot tenders in here. Now these pretty much just look like the regular tenders, just like dusted in a bunch of hot seasoning. And I want to get a bite of the tender on its own first before I dip it in any sauce. So cheers, first food of the day. That is definitely a hot tender. Your first bite, you're like, okay, and as you're chewing it, you're like, oh, yep, there it is. It kind of hits you in the back of the throat. It's a really nice dry rub, almost like a hot Nashville hot tender. They got that dry rub on there. I'm excited to dip it in this hot honey. I have a feeling that like sweetness from the hot honey is gonna pair really, really well with this tender. Right, let's try this out after a dunk in the hot honey. Like I suspected, it's so good with that little bit of sweetness there from the honey. These tenders on their own are like super crispy and flavorful, and without like the hot seasoning on them, they still have like a good blend of seasoning on them, but it's just that added heat that I really, really love. I love spicy food. This is right up my alley. I bet these hot tenders would be really good on one of their sandwiches too. I'd come back and get the hot tenders again for sure. Let's try in their buffalo too. Their buffalo is so thick and creamy. It's hard to tell from here, but look at that. So good. Delicious. You know what will make these tenders even better? Some Cumin Lime Mojo sauce. R.I.P. Gone, but never forgotten. So Chicken Guy, if you're listening, and I know that you are, give us our sauces back. I feel like that was definitely what made Chicken Guy so desirable to visit, and without those sauces, it's just not the same. Let me know down below in the comments what your favorite sauce from Chicken Guy is, and if they got rid of it, maybe if enough people talk about it, we could get those sauces back. I had to get myself some water because my mouth is on fire. But now that I'm feeling refreshed, let's head to our next stop, which is actually going to be at a restaurant that I have never been to before. We are going to grab some food from Pepe Next, which is actually the quick service restaurant that's attached to Jaleo. Now, I've never actually made a video over at Jaleo, but I gotta say, it is definitely a hidden gem at Disney Springs in itself. I came here one time and I had the chef's tasting menu. It was so good, completely blew me away. So I expect their quick service restaurant to do the same. But before we head in there, has anyone peeped my shirt yet? This is the latest from Shop LBV. It is the Walt tee. It's currently on pre-order because it sold out so quickly, and this is like my new absolute favorite tee. If you guys want to shop for it, the link's down below in the description. So I'm guessing, judging by the menu here, they have sandwiches and more at Pepe. Look at, we've got some flautas. I guess they're just like long, thin sandwiches. Those look really good. They have another sandwich with some ribeye, caramelized onions. Oh my God, that sounds really good too. We've got some burgers down here, a chorizo hot dog sandwich. Oh my God, have I been missing out? They have bikini sandwiches, which are Spanish paninis. Oh my gosh. Classics from Spain. And then if we head around to the other side, there's even more impressive stuff. Chicken fritters, potato chips, some chilled soup, Spanish fried potatoes. They also have ice cream and churros. Oh, guys, I've been missing out for sure. Okay, so I think I figured out why no one talks about this place and why it is completely empty in here. And that is because the price is outrageous. They are charging $18 for some sandwiches, and that doesn't even include a side. Now, you could go to most sit-down restaurants at Disney World in the parks, and you could get an entree for just about the same price at a sit-down restaurant, and that would include a side. So we'll see if the taste of the food makes up for this. I refuse to spend $18 on a quick service sandwich, so I did not get that. Although it sounded really good, that steak sandwich that they recommended was $18 without a side, so no. I decided to get one of the ham and cheese sandwiches on like the little thin baguettes, and then I couldn't resist the churros either. All right, our churros and sandwich have arrived, and I gotta say, it took over 10 minutes for this food to come out, and there was not a single other soul inside, like I mentioned. So I could only imagine what goes on when there's like actually a line and some people inside, because if it took 10 minutes with no one, it probably takes quite a while, but I guess that means they're making the food fresh, and it looks and smells both very good. Usually I would eat the sandwich first, but I feel like it's more important to eat the churros first while they're still hot, fresh, crispy, and that chocolate sauce is nice and warm. This portion costs you $7 and is served with some chocolate sauce. There are 7 churros here, so I feel like this is definitely easily shareable and a pretty good value. Oh man, guys, these are some fantastic churros. The best part has got to be that chocolate dipping sauce, though. It's so rich and almost like dark chocolatey. These churros give the churros at the Nomad Lounge a run for their money for sure. Nomad churros were always like up there, top of the churro game at Disney World, but man, they've got some competition, especially in terms of the dipping sauce. The dipping sauce over at the Nomad Lounge has gone so downhill recently. The chocolate dip here is a lot better. These are some fantastic churros. Okay, I take back what I said about the wait time. I would wait 10 minutes for these hot, fresh churros any day. But I am still worried if there is like an actual line. It would be really long, but oh my God. One of my new favorite Disney Springs desserts. This is up there with that s'more, the Gideons cookies. This is one of the best desserts you could get at Disney Springs, and no one's talking about it. Does anyone even know? I didn't know before I walked in there. Okay, I could literally eat every single one of those churros, but we still have a sandwich here and so much other food to get to, so I have to cut myself off. Let's get into this jamón y queso bikini sandwich. This costs $12 and has 2 different kinds of Spanish hams and cheese. I'm hoping we get a nice good crunch here. Let's see. The crunch wasn't quite as good as I expected. Have you guys ever seen the videos of people eating the tuna cotto sandwich from Joe and the Juice on TikTok? I see them all the time. And I expected it to like have that kind of like snappy crunch. And it doesn't. It's definitely crispy and toasted, but it's not like that crunch. I don't think there's enough ham or cheese on this sandwich for me. It is very thin, and I know it's pressed like a panini, so it's supposed to be thin, but just the like toppings in there are just very sparse. There is not much inside. It's literally like 1 layer of ham, actually 2, because you have the 2 different types of ham, and then cheese on the top, cheese on the bottom. I could use more ham and more cheese, especially for the $12. It's not bad. It's a pretty decent sandwich, but I think there's so many other better things at Disney Springs. I probably wouldn't get this again. As a whole, I think Pepe is pretty solid for quick service here in Disney Springs. The only thing, like I mentioned earlier, that would turn me away from this place is totally the price. I mean, I feel like if the prices were more reasonable, I would come here all the time. The sandwiches are good. Obviously, the churros are fantastic, and I want to try a lot more of the menu. But when I could go to the boathouse and get a superb meal, filet mignon sliders for a couple dollars more, like, I don't know why I would really ever come here for like entrees or like food. I don't know, just me. Well, with that, I think it's time for some tacos, and not just any kind of taco, birria tacos. Birria tacos are honestly probably one of my all-time favorite foods. There's a little food truck park here in Disney Springs with a couple of food trucks. One of them has birria tacos. Now, I have eaten at the Cilantro Urban Eatery truck over there before, but I've never gotten anything from the Four Rivers Cantina, and everything looks really good. They have a taco cone. There are the birria tacos. They have a birria quesadilla, street tacos, burrito bowl, all the fun taco stuff. All sounds really good, but I gotta try those birria tacos. While I am waiting for said tacos, a DC break was necessary. All right, here we have the birria tacos. These have beef birria on 2 crispy griddled tortillas with Oaxaca cheese, and they're served with a rich beef jus and onion and cilantro salsa for $12.25. I am personally not seeing any onion and cilantro salsa on here, but what I am seeing are 2 very griddled tortillas, like they said. These look to be like some, I don't know, they look almost like a flatbread more than a tortilla. If you look up close, and the inside, I know Four Rivers is like a barbecue place. It looks to be like some barbecue, like pulled beef. We'll go for a dunk in the consomme and try these bad boys out. I unfortunately have to say I am not a big fan of these birria tacos at all. The meat in there is what I suspected. It's more of like shredded beef with barbecue sauce, which is not what I want when I'm thinking birria taco at all. It just seems so off with the cheese in the tortilla served with the consomme. It's just not right, I guess, in my opinion. When I think of a birria taco, I want a Mexican style beef that is shredded and super, super flavorful, not on the sweet side. I feel like instead of calling the meat in here beef birria, they should just call it like pulled barbecue beef, because that is what it is. This is not birria. If it's some type of barbecue style birria, they should just advertise it as that, because that is not beef birria. Next up, let's make a stop at a restaurant that I have only been to one single time, and it was quite a while ago, so I'm excited to try it out again. We're gonna try Cooks of Dublin. Cooks of Dublin is the quick service restaurant that's attached to the Raglan Road, which I have recently become a big fan of. I dined at Raglan Road on St. Patrick's Day and had a fantastic meal. I have a video of that experience, so if you guys want to see me dine at Raglan Road, check the link in the description. I'll have the link to that there. But now we are gonna check out the quick service location, which I am hearing is serving up some fantastic food as well. Here at the Cooks of Dublin, they have quite a variety, ranging from the fish and chips. They have fried shrimp, a battered sausage dog, chicken and mushroom pie, chicken sandwiches, burgers, loaded fries, hog in a box, whatever that is, but there is so much to choose from. I don't even know what I'm gonna get. And you can see the fish and chips here cost $15.99, which is actually cheaper than a sandwich with absolutely no side at Pepe. Also, the seafood combo box, which comes with fried fish, fried shrimp, chips for $20.99, which is only like $3 more than a sandwich or a burger from Pepe, which is absolutely crazy. But I didn't really want to get the same thing that I got the first time I came here, so I asked the cast member what her favorite thing on the menu was, and she said it was the Bang Bang chicken loaded chips. Now, I was hesitant to order this because I do not eat mayo, and the Bang Bang sauce that comes on it obviously has mayo in it. So I asked the cast member if it would be good if I got it with a different sauce, and she said that it would probably be good if I got it with buffalo sauce, so I'm going to try that out. These are the Bang Bang chicken loaded chips. They have crispy chicken, grilled peppers and onions, and they're covered in buffalo sauce instead of Bang Bang sauce for $14.99. Now, this is a pretty big portion. You've got a ton of fries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 little nuggets, peppers and onions, the sauce. This is so heavy. This has to weigh like at least 3 pounds here. Let's try and get a bite with some fry, some onion, and some chick. Okay, these nuggets are really, really good. They're super crispy and very well seasoned. It's almost like they're not dipped in a flour, and they're dipped in more of like a gluten-free flour, if that makes sense. They look and taste more like gluten-free nuggets, which gluten-free nuggets are usually pretty good. So I really like the chicken. The fries are very soggy because they're just coated in way too much sauce, and all of the toppings on top are just making the fries quite soggy. But What's really not doing it for me is the sauce. I'm not a big fan of the buffalo sauce here. It's very sweet and like thick, more like ketchup-y almost. The sauce isn't my favorite, so I definitely think I made a mistake getting the buffalo sauce on here and wish I got it on the side so I could kind of control the amount that I put on. But again, this was like my hack because I didn't get the bang bang sauce on it. So the buffalo sauce isn't my favorite, but these nuggets alone are really good. They do have a side on the menu, a Dubliner Irish cheese and bacon dip, and I imagine putting that dip on these fries would be like the ultimate game changer because that would be like more traditional, like loaded fries with the cheese, with the bacon, you get the crispy chicken on there. I should have seen if I could get that instead of the buffalo sauce on here because I think that would be so good with all of this stuff combined. If I was ordering this again, that is what I would do. Well, after Cooks of Dublin, I came over to Gideons and I was like, oh, I'll just check on the line, you know, do a little line update and talk about what they have, but I'm not going to wait a couple hours in the virtual queue. And I come over, and there's no virtual queue, and maybe like 10 parties in line, and that's it. And I was like, well, I guess I can't pass up this opportunity. I guess I'm getting Gideons today. But seriously, this is how you know that Disney Springs is not busy, when the line at Gideons is like 10 minutes long. This is blowing my mind right now. I've never seen the line this short. So let's take a look at the April menu. This month's limited edition cookie is the white chocolate caramel macadamia nut. And of course, we've got all the usuals here as well. But I did notice they also have a banana nitro cold brew. I've never tried that before, so I'm tempted. We, of course, also have to take a look at their cake slice menu. So we'll look on their Instagram right here, the April slices. Today is Tuesday, so we're working with a caramel espresso, peanut butter cup, and then a vanilla crumb cake. Oh, that sounds good too. You guys know how I feel about their cakes. I low-key think the cakes at Gideons are better than the cookies. Of course, all of it is really good, but the cakes just hit different. I'm kind of between the cookie of the month and the vanilla crumb cake slice. I don't know which one to get. Let's take a look at the cookies here together. This is the special one, the white chocolate caramel macadamia nut. Here's my fave, the banana walnut chocolate chip, the banana sister walnut chocolate chip, the OG, the triple chocolate. What do we got down here? Pistachio, toffee chocolate chip. Honestly, any of them are always good, but the banana is my OG fave. Here are the cakes that we were looking at. They have the peanut butter banana. What is this in the center? Oh, this has to be the salted caramel espresso cake. Was that on the list? I don't remember. Maybe I just read it and I can't remember. Oh, they have golden Oreo and peanut butter chocolate. Okay, golden Oreo was not on the list. And that is one of my all-time favorite cake slices from here at Gideons. Oh my God, the order gets even more difficult with the golden Oreo cake slice. Oh no. Well, that is absolutely crazy. I just went back to check to see what time I got in line. I got in line at 5:32 and it is 5:50. That means I only waited 18 minutes from the moment that I got in line at Gideons to the moment I sat down at a table with my cookie. Now, I don't know, but I think that's like record-breaking time. That is crazy. No virtual queue. Just hopped in line. 18 minutes. I have my cookie in hand. I am just in such shock about this. I'm like so happy. I can't believe it. I did ultimately decide to go with the cookie of the month. You know, I've tried everything else in there. I wanted to try something new. I like trying the cookies of the month. And the only reason I was so hesitant on it was because I'm not like the biggest fan of white chocolate. I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. So I don't know how I'm gonna like this cookie. Who knows? It may surprise me. I usually love anything that Gideons puts out, so I might like it. Let's try. I do like it. Oh man, that is good. You see the caramel in there? The caramel is like a little crispy, and the edges where the caramel kind of like seeped out are a little crispy. The caramel swirls in there are fantastic. The macadamia nuts, delicious. Oh my God, that bite, I could taste more of the white chocolate, which again, I'm not like the biggest fan of white chocolate, but this is a damn good cookie. The caramel in there gives it almost like this saltiness to it. It adds like a really good depth of flavor. The macadamia nuts too, I love macadamia nuts, so man, I didn't think I would like this cookie, and I am surprised. This is good. Well, that was the perfect end to eating. Pack this cookie up. I'm gonna take it on home, and this will be my dessert for the next couple of days. Before I head out of this area, I also wanted to mention the basket in this video. The basket is Wine Bar George's little quick service window that they have, and you can actually get the crispy mac and cheese bites, which honestly are one of my favorite things to eat from all of Walt Disney World property. You could get them from here at the basket, grab and go. You could get most of their menu grab and go, including their espresso martini, which is my #1 espresso martini at Disney World. I made a whole video talking about my top 3 espresso martinis, and Wine Bar George is #1. You could get it to go over here. So this is another awesome like hidden spot that most people overlook. You don't know about. It's kind of a little hidden. You have to walk down some stairs to find it, but it is a gem for sure. I recommend you check it out if you come to Disney Springs. Well, what an awesome day of eats here at Disney Springs. I love coming out to Springs and making these videos because I always stumble across some things that I've never tried before, almost didn't even know they were there, and I end up finding some new favorites, like those churros. Now, the churros were definitely a highlight for me, as were the hot tenders that we had in the beginning of this video, and the surprise hit of the day, the Gideons cookie. Absolutely loved it. The only thing I really didn't enjoy for the day were those birria tacos. Not my kind of thing, but overall, what a day. Now, I'm sure some of you guys watching this video have found some things throughout your times visiting Disney Springs, things that are maybe like hidden. So let me know in the comments if there's anything that you have had at Disney Springs that like no one talks about, most people might not even know is there, and maybe I'll try it in the next video. Massive thanks to some of my Patreon subscribers: Angela, Ashley, Barbara, the Calcanes family, Catherine, Lindsay, Misty, Shelby, Adam and Jen, Anne, Brittany, Karish, Chelsea, Carol, Danielle and Marcel, Dante, Dustin and Nancy, Emily, Ethan, John Paul, Christina, Leah, Tori, Lisa, the Martell family, Michael, Pickle, the Latham Thomas family, Tracy, Wayne, Jermaine, Eric, the Weaver family, Stephen, Andrea, Jessica, the Leibowitz family, Abigail and Robin, JB and Andrew, and Diane and Julie. And of course, a huge thank you to all of you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you guys found something that you might want to try here at Disney Springs that you didn't even know was here. If I recommend one thing, it's those churros. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!